So let's call the load event, and the first thing we want to do is to populate the combo boxes for the repair types and for the customer. So again, I'll go to the new appointment form and I will grab these values for our combo boxes and paste them right here, because they are the same. We have the combo box for the repair type, which we want to display as a description and bind to the type ID, and for the customer we have the display member as name of the customer and bound to the customer ID. Now when we open the form, we of course want all the text boxes and the drop downs to be populated with the value that belongs to this particular appointment, because we already have the appointment ID, so we already have the time, we already have the customer and all that, and we want to display it on the form when the form loads. So I'm going to get the selected appointment and display it in the forms control. So the first one, I'm going to grab the row, which is going to be of type repair services dataset, and I want the appointments row. Not appointments list, just appointments row. So this is the single appointment that we selected. Now we have the appointment ID, so we can go to our row and go to the appointment object and call the find by appointment ID method, which is returning the single appointment that belongs to the appointment ID. So we will pass the appointment ID as an argument. So at this point we have everything we need. The appointment has been selected based on the ID, and now we can populate all the form elements. So first let's populate the date picker. So the date picker value will equal the row dot scheduled. And we don't want just the scheduled, we want to only have the date, because the time is separate, it's a different text box. So the txt time, which is the time itself, the text property of it will come from the row dot, and we want to pick up the time. So we'll go and get the time of the day, and since we are displaying it in a text box, we want to convert it to string. So we have the date and time. Next is the checkbox for the licensed. So checkbox licensed, and we'll check it or not check it depending on whether it is true or false. So we'll go to our row and get the property licensed. Then we have the description, so txt description.text, and that will come from the row dot description property. And then we need to select the repair type in the combo box. So we'll go to CBO repair type, and we will do selected value and assign it a value from our row. And the row is of course bound to the type ID. We have it as a display member only description, but of course we want to bind it to the type ID. So we'll have the type ID as the selected value. And similarly for the customer dropdown, we want the selected value, and it's coming from the row dot customer ID. And again, that one is gonna display the name because that's our display member, but it's bound by the customer ID. And with this, everything is finished. Our little project is done, and what's left is of course to test everything.